one of his appearances this year in the Busch Series. Marty?
Dave, Kyle Busch currently on the pole, and I've got to know, was the lap dramatic enough for you?
It was pretty...
Is that the new word?
No, it was uneventful, I guess I could say. I mean, it was pretty good. Lance gave me an awesome car. Of course, all the guys did, too, at the Lowe's Chevrolet. And it was great to be able to go out there and sit on the pole right now. We went quicker than we did in practice. That's all that counts. And I hope this weather holds out because I think we got a good shot to start either first or second, which we would anyway. So I got ran over.
Framey just about ran over all of us.
But no, like I was saying, we can start in the top three. That'd be fine.
Look at turn.
The word dramatic comes from his car owner, Ricky Hendrick, who said it's going to be a dramatic change in the weather. I think he's right.
Look what's chasing.
Right.
Just when you think you've seen it all.
Let's cover up.
Look what's chasing Todd Szegedy around the racetrack.
I wonder what was going through Todd's mind when he looked up and saw that big orange thing coming at him.
Look at that.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like this happen before.
Well, now I know what Joliet, Jake, and Elle would have been up to.
Now, Todd did get his first lap in at a 30.68, which puts him 15th quickest.
If I were him, I'd ask for a do-over.
I believe I would, too.
Well, but
hey,
he came
guys,
almost in front of him.
This
I
looks
believe
like
it's going to complete a lap, guys.
hey, it looks like the geniuses in the PR department have thought of a new way to get their product on camera.
Is it going to miss the timing lights? Yes.
We didn't get a time on it, though.
This is the biggest crowd response of the day is for the rolling Tropicana inflatable.
You know what, though, Mike? I think it's going to fail tech.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to fit very many templates.
Nope.
The track truck is coming out to collect it, and it dwarfs the track truck. Watch this. Bet you've never seen that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like you, Mike. I feel like they owe Todd Szegedy a rerun here.
Yeah, that's a different one, and that got taken out over the spectator area. A lot of winds advancing with this front. Can you imagine? You're driving around into turn 3, and a spotter says, trouble in turn 4. What is it? I don't know.
Never seen
but
that
it's
before.
big and orange.
Guys,
okay.
I think this balloon is bound and determined to complete this lap.
Yeah, it has a mind of its own.
And it's going to ride the fence.
I've seen caution flags for a lot of reasons in the last 30 years, but this is a new one.
This balloon is being very hard-headed.
Todd Szegedy will have one to tell his grandkids.
Yes, he will. A story that not many drivers can tell.
Again, I would like to have known what the crew chief was saying through all this. I'm sure he's watching and watching, and all of a sudden it's like, watch out!
Well, he definitely had to alter his line a bit.
Oh, yeah.
For a little while.
But let's go back to Todd Szegedy in the 7-car, Mike. I just feel like NASCAR owes him a complete rerun of his qualifying run. He ran a 30.68. He had ran a 30.13 in practice, which was 19th quickest. This is one of those cars, go or go home. I mean, he has no provisionals. He's at the very bottom of the list other than Carl Long. And I just feel like because of unusual circumstances, and I'd have to say that was pretty unusual, that they owe him a complete rerun of his qualifying effort.
I wonder, Larry, if they'd have a look at where he practiced. Now, he was a 30.13 in practice, which was 19th fastest. So, yeah, I think you could go to the truck and make a strong case for the orange, costing you half a second. And you're right, that would be the difference between going home and racing here tomorrow.
Because if we get this qualifying back underway, which would, if we don't, Todd's not going to make the show anyhow. But if we get this qualifying run back underway, I totally agree with what these drivers said. We saw it a year ago. If it rains and this racetrack really cools down, it's going to be a fast racetrack.
And I do recall instances in the past where a driver has been out on his qualifying lap and the track began to rain. He couldn't complete the lap, and they would give him a rerun.
Yeah, in fact, that happened to us with Dale Earnhardt qualifying for the Daytona 500 in 1997. It rained about halfway down the backstretch on his first lap.
Well, I did notice that a few minutes ago when they were covering up Todd Szegedy's car, Brian Patty was down there and he was talking with a NASCAR official. So I'm sure that Brian is doing his job.
I would say he was lobbying.
Positively lobbying.
Not going to find a line in the rule book for this one. Let's see. Inflatable orange blows across the track. Ruined my lap. Have a look right in the center of your screen, right there. And where's the 7 car? Just coming, not yet in view. There it comes.
You know, we always talk about distractions. I would say that was a distraction.
I don't know how big that is across, but I'm going to guess that balloon is almost probably 16, 20 feet across.
Pretty big. And it was not going to go down easy. But now the rain is coming down hard.
On a little bit more.
Well, here's the best news. NASCAR officials have decided that Todd Szegedy's qualifying run was interrupted by circumstances beyond his control. He will get a chance to rerun. His car owner is standing by with Dave Burns.
Yeah, and you know, when you're a car owner, Mike, there are lots of things that happen. Frustrations that you don't get as just a driver. Now, Joe's going to drive in the Busch race, too, but like you said, he owns Todd's car. Have you ever come across something like an inflatable orange spoiling a qualifying lap?
I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, it's tough on Todd Szegedy and the Hills Brothers people. They stepped up with this Coffee Break of a Lifetime program for a new driver, and he's been doing a great job. He ran Milwaukee, ran well there for the first time in a stock car, and then to come to Chicago, this is one of the toughest tracks we go to. He's really good in practice. I think he was 13th quickest, and you know, I think the rain should help him now, but you know, the motor's hot, everything's hot. So
he didn't want to take the coffee break during his qualifying run.
No, not at all. You know, he's a great young driver, and man, to put him through all this on his first time here at Chicago, that's a lot. But
baptism by fire. How's your car?
I tell you what, my Cell 1 Cellular 1 Chevy is very, very good. We'll be driving number 87. I got the wrong suit on right now, but just ran over from cup practice, and now it rained. But my Cell 1 is real good. I think we were third or fourth in practice. Very, very good. We spent most of the time in race trim, so we're ready. You know, if it rains it out, it doesn't matter. My car's good. Todd needs to get in by time. We need to get this Hills Brothers Chevy in by time. So keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully it'll stop raining and we'll get the track dry.
Yep. So Joe's doing double duty as a driver. He's an owner. He's a driver coach. Got a lot going on this weekend, Marty.
Here's Dave Burns.
Well, guys, Todd Szegedy's car is on pit lane. And surprisingly to me anyway, he wasn't the first one to roll out, because obviously when things ended, he was the one who was had last qualified, but or had the problem with the orange, I should say. So his guys said that they were still taking time to cool the car down and get it ready, and NASCAR excused them from being the first one to have to go out. So I don't quite see how they, had a lack of time, but apparently there was some discussion there, and Todd will roll out soon.
Well, I think that's fair, Dave. You want to, if you're going to give a driver a rerun, and that's a rare thing to have happen, you want him to be able to have the same opportunity as everybody else, which means starting with an engine that's cool, with tires and everything else that are all cooled down. And when you put your passenger car in the garage, even 2 hours later, you can feel the hood and it's still warm. So they want to try to get it cooled off. So they've taken these 3 cars that had previously been excused from their scheduled time, and they're going out before Szegedy.
Yeah, what these
pit road reported dry. Now, Todd Szegedy did run, and he posted a lap that would have been right about 16th, but NASCAR, because of the bouncing orange, they disallowed the lap, and they've called it no time, and he does get a rerun.
Mike, quit laughing about that. That wasn't a funny situation.
Well, not for Todd.
No, it's not. I mean, because we talked about this guy earlier, and we're going to see it right here. This was on his first qualifying lap before the rains came, and you'll notice on the apron, this big orange bouncing around. It's one of the displays that was tied down outside the racetrack, and of course Todd didn't get near it or hit it, but I mean, that had to be a huge distraction to him, and there you see the remains.
I know how much it was a distraction for us. I can imagine what it's like at about 175 miles an hour.
That, by the way, was not the cat in the hat. It was a straw sticking out of the orange, at least when it's fully inflated. Well, let's see what the track's like, Marty.
Now we see the guy that had the battle with the orange, Todd Szegedy.
Okay, he's a good little driver. He's made a lot of noise in the Northeast, winning the NASCAR Modified Tour Championship last year. He's now 28. He was the youngest driver ever to win that Touring Series title. He made his Busch Series debut in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I mean, he had never been on a track bigger than 1 mile in the modified car, and that was at Nazareth and Loudon. But, Mike, those guys have to run a carburetor restrictor plate on the modifieds at those racetracks. They came here and tested. NASCAR wouldn't totally approve him to race here until he raced at something else in the Busch Series, so that's the reason they took him to Milwaukee.
And his modified's about 700 pounds lighter and probably has about twice, okay, half again as much tread contact area with those big wide steamroller tires. So this is going to be different.
Look at that. Third quickest, 29.91.
And Larry, I think we need to point out, he is driving a car that is owned by Joe Nemechek. So Brian Patty and Joe Nemechek know how to field a fast race car.
And I know when those guys came up here and tested back in early June, they said you'd have never known he hadn't been in one of these type of race cars. That's a good lap for Todd. That's about 2/10 quicker than he practiced, and then almost 3/4 of a second quicker than he ran with the orange on the racetrack.
Todd Szegedy from Ridgefield, Connecticut, not all that far up the road from the hometown of former series champ Randy LaJoie. All right, let's go down to Marty with the fellow who had to follow the bouncing orange.
Smiling Marty.
Speaking of people who are smiling, Todd Szegedy's one of them, and I guess you should have an orange chase you around the track more often, shouldn't you?
Oh man, I tell you what, that was pretty wild. I come out of going into 3 there, and my crew chief goes, "Hey," he goes, "back it down. They're gonna throw it a yellow," and I'm like, I don't see no yellow. And next thing you know, I see this big orange thing wobbling towards me. I mean, 10 seconds earlier or whatever, that thing, I would have ran right through it, probably dragged it across the start finish line.
Your lap was terrific, though, Todd.
It wasn't bad. You know, this car stuck like glue, and I screwed up my second lap going to 3 and 4. I drove it in way too deep. I mean, I practically lifted it in the center almost, skated the nose up a little bit, and I know I lost some time there. I could have got a better time, but hey, I'll take it. You know, I'll take it for the Hills Brothers Coffee Break of a Lifetime. I mean, I'm getting the whole works. You know, I don't know. It's something else seeing a big orange come rolling across. I think that motivated me. I don't know whether I should drink orange juice tomorrow morning or not.
I think you should drink coffee.
Yeah, some Hills Brothers coffee. Actually, no, my Hills Brothers coffee and orange juice can go with me first thing in the morning. So it was fun.
There you go, Mike.